So in this video, we're going to be talking about our teams for game week 1. We have been agonising, quite literally, for weeks since they opened up the FPL team selection process. We've been sending drafts to each other, but I think we have some teams that we're ready to share with the world. We're just a few days away now from game week 1. And Scott, I'm going to ask you to talk us through some of the decisions that we've made along the way and where you've landed. So Scott, tell us about your team.
Well, as you can see on the screen, I've kept two of the three premiums that they speak about. So I've gone Haaland and Bruno, and I think they are fairly locked for me. But I've doubled up on Sunderland, which I think a few managers are doing, to stick with that kind of like £6 million template. So I've gone Enzo Lafay. And as of this morning, before recording, I also brought in a Sunderland centre-back or defender, should I say. I was a bit toying up between a centre-back and an out OOP player. But one thing I felt I needed to do after watching the Community Shield was actually double up on Arsenal defence. And I feel that doing that, not having Gabriel, but bringing in two of the Arsenal defence, puts me in a better position than just having one of them. And I think they defended so well against City, and I think they played fantastically well. I think they're going to have a really good season with when you pick defenders again this season as much as it was last year.
So I've done a similar thing to you, Scott, in terms of having some more Sunderland players in my team. But I saw a stat today that was just slightly concerning for me. They had 12 players in the World Cup, which I think is more than any other team. Are they going to be ready for game week 1?
Yeah, I think so. I think Enzo Lafay obviously went to the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, but he's come back fairly early. He's looking quite solid. I think he's done quite well in some of the pre-season matches, so I'm quite confident on that. And in terms of the OOP out of position player, I've brought in Hume, and I think at least for the first few weeks, this isn't. I think I'm going to be playing an early wild card, so I think I'm ready to take the risk on a £4 million player for the first 4.5 million pound player for the first 3 to 6 game weeks, and then reassess then.
Okay, cool. And Signore, let's talk about your team, and then we're going to talk about benches afterwards. Signore, talk us through the decisions you've made.
Well, as you know, I've sent you many a drafts. In fact, I think I've got more pictures of my drafts on my camera roll than pictures of my child at the minute. And I wanted to go cheap defence. I was going to go no higher than 4.5 mil on any defender that I had. Kind of shifted that a little. I think Scott's right. Seeing how solid Arsenal looked again, I've tried to squeeze in an Arsenal defender, and I've managed to do that. It's currently Ben White, but that may change. I've only done him really because Tim don't look like returning anytime soon. And also, he's a bit of a differential. Like, he's only got like 2 or 3% ownership. So I kind of quite like that, you know. But there was one thing I was definitely going to do with them as well. I just didn't know how to kind of get him in. And that was bringing in the sound of Zolis. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the Zolis. Huh? It's good, isn't it? Right?
He loves the sing song. Never change, Signore.
I'll try not to. So, yeah, I mean, he just looks great value for 6.5 mil, and I don't think he's coming out my team now to start the season. One thing I was definitely going to do was triple up on Man United. I love their fixtures, whether it's double defence or double attack. I've switched it to double attack now. So I've got Bruno and I've got Mbeumo, and I feel really, really confident with them too. Yeah, I got Haaland, but one thing I wasn't going to do is get rid of João Pedro. I mean, I think he's solid for 7.5 million. Like, that is just oozing class and well worth your money. So that's kind of where I'm at the minute.
Okay. And I've just been looking at both of your benches. You both have chosen Calvert-Lewin, but he starts game week 1 on the bench for you. Any particular reason behind that, guys? Scott?
I just think he's the best £6 million forward in his position. I mean, Igor Jesus at Forest did quite well at the start of pre-season, But I watched that Leeds and Liverpool game, and I felt like Calvert-Lewin has got it all. I think he ended the season so brightly, and I just feel like in that price bracket, if they have a few good games to start the season, he suddenly becomes a bit of a cheat code. I think in that price bracket, and I just think if we're following some kind of price template in particular positions, you just got to have him if you're going for that free forward slot. Yeah, I think he's the one for me.
Okay, and
Yeah, I
Signore,
agree.
similar?
I agree. I mean, my front three, it seems like a copy and paste front three, but Harden, João Pedro, and Calvert-Lewin, it ticks a lot of boxes. There's a lot of good features there. And he does start my bench currently. Whether I swap him in for Xhaka, I don't know yet. But, he's a good option to have, and I don't see the reason why having someone else in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he will be starting for me. I don't think I can bench. I know I've put him on the bench. I was just obviously rejigging it, but I think by the deadline he'll be starting.
Okay. In terms of my team, I'm a little bit different to some of the decisions you've made. I've got Lafay and I've got Robbie up front, in a front three, along with Haaland and João Pedro. But one of the sticking points for me in my team is having Morgan Rogers. And, me and Signore have seen him live. We went to the Chelsea match, the friendly.
It was a jolly good day, wasn't it?
He played for about an hour, didn't he, Signore?
Yeah.
He scored a goal. It was all right. It's probably fortunate not to be offside, I think. But, it was fine. But I'm just not sure whether the price of Rodgers is worth it and whether I'm sacrificing elsewhere in the team. It's 7.5 million. I've got Rodgers, Ndiaye, Fernandes, and Lafay in a 4-person midfield, and that's what that looks like at the moment. I think what I might do is have Rodgers in the team for now, and then wait for Saliba to be fit again, because I've currently got Mosquera in a back three, and maybe just a bit of a chop and change just to get Saliba back in the team when he's fit. How long's he out for?
They don't actually know, do they?
Yeah.
It's a while.
Okay.
Like a good few weeks.
I don't know if it's worth having a midfielder and having Gabriel in there. I don't know.
No, I hear you.
It's a tricky one. That's the only sticking point for me on my team. It's something I'm finding a bit difficult. But that's pretty much where I'm at. I think it's pretty much nailed on. Thank you, Scott, for the Shaw advice. You told me to put Shaw in, and I noticed you've added Maguire. So
he's done it again.
That was like 10, 11 days ago, to be fair. I've slept a few times since.
He slept a few times, yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing your teams with us, guys. If you have your team draft sorted, let us know in the comments below. What are the tricky positions you're trying to fill just before game week 1? What are your agonising decisions? Let us know in the comments below.